Hello, I'm Richard Raffan. Yesterday I made this box out of forest sheoak. It's made for holding tea and it's got a suction fit lid. The box took me about 80 minutes to make, which I felt was a bit long for a video, so I've edited it down to about 45 minutes, hopefully retaining all the bits which are going to be of interest, cut out the boring bits. I must apologise for the sound, which in the second half isn't very good. I had a break in the shoot, so to go and get another chuck, and I don't think the microphone was plugged in properly when I got back. Anyway, my apologies for the sound. I recently got an order for a tea box with internal dimensions of 100 by 150, which is about 4 by 6 inches, which needs a pretty big lump of wood, and I didn't have one, but Julia Marcolongolo very kindly sent me this, and 5 inches diameter, which is 130 by 170, which is just under 7 inches. So I should be able to get what I want out, provided it doesn't have too tall a lid. So this has already been rough turned, as you see, as turned to a cylinder between centres, so it's going back with the centre there, and still slightly out of whack for some reason, but anyway, that's why we have a lathe. True it up. So I'm just going to use a peeling cut. This is 1 inch skew. And true up the end. I was hesitating about doing it with a skew there. I normally do these things with a 3/8 spindle gouge. So this will be the base. I'm just trying to get rid of that little centre mark now. So I know that's true. That goes round into the chuck. Oh. Right, so there's problem number one. That is going to have to be the lid, and I've now missed the opportunity of truing up the other end. Oh dear. Just going to true this up now. True it up again. Bring the rest right up. It's way above centre, but that's so that I'm comfortable with the skew. So that's going to be the lid section. Take off about 1 inch, 25 mil, maybe a little bit more. I think I'm just going to use a saw to do the last bit. Oh, it's more to come off than I thought. The next thing is just to true up the rest of the blank, so that I know if I pull it off centre, then I know by how far. peeling cuts. Go almost all the way down with my depth gouge. This is going to be hollowed with a 1/2 inch square scraper I acquired recently. Why I'm starting to hollow this now. We'll get the bulk of this out and then I'll do the lid. To get the magnets on. Just give me an idea of how far down I am. Extremely noisy. So, about another inch or so to go in the bottom. I have a problem here. Right, here I am an hour or so later with a borrowed set of step jaws in a Vicmark VM120 chuck. Always regretted selling the chuck I had like this, but anyway, there we are. So, first job is going to be, I know this is true because that's what I parted off. So this is, the rest is slightly out of whack, so I'll just true that up. I'm going to put a very small shoulder there to locate the chuck jaws when I turn it round, and then just make sure that this is running true and that any residual of the little split in the centre has gone. Running this at 1500. It's all right on its side. Got a huge amount of material to play with here, so let's get this straight to the end grain. Probably bring it up cleaner than shear cutting it. There's still a teeny remnant of the hole there, tails onto that hole. Very gently into the middle so as not to pull the grain out. Right, that's gone. I do have, there's about 1/8 of an inch underneath the straight edge, which I need to take into account. I'm covering this. That's just straight back into the jaws. There will be teeth marks, and they will be turned out later. Half-inch spindle gouge this time. Very careful here because I haven't got a huge amount to play with, because I want the maximum suction fit I can get, so I can go down about another 1/8 inch. I'll hammer the inside out with, this is a 3/4 inch square and scraper. Right, so I'm down another. Lid on the inside, it's going to be very slightly domed that way. It's got upper fraction, so only the top left corner is in touch with the wood, contact with the wood. The inside is going to be about 100 mil. Diameter should be about there, and then I want a flange around that. So that will be about where my lid fit comes to, and I need to have a little bit left over to shape the outside, so I'll come down to that. Now the important thing here is this needs to be, it has to be a suction fit lid on the T box, so I need the flange to be straight in, parallel sides. So if you can keep the tool, this edge, parallel to the lathe axis, just push it straight in, you should cut a cylinder, but of course that doesn't happen very often. So you've got to move slightly and that will change. So it's pretty all right, and that's there. There's a very slight curve on the inside. That's good. Now I hope I don't lose it. Need to come out just a shade more. I'm just going to hone the top of the edge there. I slipped off and blood. Okay. So just letting the dividers out. maximum diameter. And then as I pull them out, I just want to feel an even resistance. I'm not getting it, that's slightly tighter at the back. Right, so it's slightly tighter at the back. What I'm aiming to do is to ease the tool in there. See if the dust is coming off. This measuring can get pretty tedious, but it's worth taking the time. If anything, I want this very, very slightly dovetailed. Right, leaving about 4 mil in the top. That'll be fine. Rim tilted in very slightly. Whatever happens at the join, and this will be slightly thinner. Join there will be a V groove, so the bottom of the V. And it's much easier to put that on now. Just widen up a little bit to the side. It's not quite as thin as it might sound, but now, once I've got this, I can grip this and do the bottom. Just true up the rim. See a little catch there. Doesn't seem to have done any damage. turn this round into here, and I'll use this chuck because it's got teeth. Dig in. Just provide a slightly better grip probably than the larger chuck, which it might not fit into anyway now. So, next thing is to establish the diameter over which the lid fits. Right, and where it rubs is where it fits in the two lines, so it's halfway between the two. Just true up the room. Right, now I've got to complete the hollowing. So check the depth to which I'm going. Down to there, which will be 125, just under 5 inches. I've got a 40mm handle on this tool, a 16 inch, and this would be much easier if the handle was twice the length. So now the rule of thumb, the length of a tool handle is 5 times the length of the overhang, 4 to 5 times the length of the overhang. So I'm going down 5 inches, 5 fourths of 20, 2 feet would be much, much better. This is what I have. Just touch that up, just make it a bit sharp. Does make a difference. Too heavy a cut over that length, taking it through. I can just about see what's happening at about 5 o'clock. Stiff from narrower from about there. The rest up a bit so there's no danger of sticking the tool up into the endgrain. The idea now is to bring the corner of the tool up through centre and drag it across. Right, going down the side with some 120 grit and sanding stick. Abrasive over the end of the stick. That's the inside done, and now fit the lid. Assume the lid's gone flatly out of whack with the fan. In this case, amazingly, it hasn't. And just gently ease that on to see where the burnish mark is, and that is exactly where it fits. I have 17mm to play with. Just about there. Cut down onto the burnish. Punching is good. I'm just going to use the beveled side just to clean up that shoulder. Let's cut back at an angle. A major consideration with a lid this size, I don't normally make suction fit lids this size, is that you need a fairly large hand to get over the lid. And it's helpful to have somewhere to grab, so this needs some kind of bead or little kind of, I'm not quite sure what I'll do with it yet, but there will be a bit of shape to the lid so you can grab it. I've got enough wood in here that I can also dome it slightly, which is nice. The next thing is to get this wall thickness established, bearing in mind I have to take some away down by the chuck jaws. shoulder I've left here will be the thickness of the flange in the lid which fits over this flange. Screwed up. I just need the lid on tight so I can turn the outside, and I fine fit it after that. This stuff splits really easily, so I've got to be very careful. That's a bit too perfect for this stage. Nice suction fit, but I want it to stay on. So the trick here is to stick it on with beeswax. To round that over, I'm going to sharpen the gouge. Right, a very slight dome. Don't cut it from here because the tool's so far over the rest. Start with it at an angle. Bring the down to down section. I have enough wood here to just put a little kind of cove on the top. Will be one way of grabbing it. And then I'll still have a shoulder underneath, which your finger will fit right over, so I think that'll work quite well. Cut that with a gouge. Get my finger underneath the rest. I'll leave the rest. Shape the base. I'm going to use peeling cuts here rather than shear cuts. I don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk picking up the grain. slow peeling cut. It's not a straight. You have the tool pointing at the radius. It's not a kind of rapid peel. We've got to be very precise with the tool is just underneath the surface. Raise the handle, but just bring the tool down. A little bit more work needs done up here. There that I can just put a bit more shape into it. At this stage the lid's still fitting pretty tight. I need to get all the wax off. And now I fine fit the lid. So it's getting fairly tight and it's just being pushed off a wee bit, which implies that this is still slightly tapered. I just need to take a bit off the back of that. And also a teeny bit off the front. You do this with turning because it's more accurate than sanding. Give it a go with 320 or 240 rather. What is it? Pull and soften that little sharp edge. Get the really waxy top onto it. Right, now next thing is to turn this round either over a chuck or over a jam chuck is probably more accurate. I'll just have a little think about that one. and see what I've got. So this will actually fit over those jaws, and I'm going to use some non-slip cloth which goes into there and around. Needs to be slightly open anyway. Okay. So these are large shark jaws in a VM100 chuck. The advantage of doing this is that this rim will butt up against the shoulder of the jaws. No tightening, just tight enough. Tight enough. And across the bottom I'm going to use tail center support. So it's a wide coverage and the cone will not go through the hole in the middle. I can see roughly where it's going, just tweak it over a little bit. It's near enough. And the bottom seems to be running all right. So the main aim here is just to get rid of the chuck mark. Shaft on the bottom. Stop the edge chipping. Really wax your sock. The whole thing and then move the sock. All that surplus wax ends up in there. And it is with great relief that I pronounce this finished. The lid.